Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Part 24 von The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky the Third. Diesmal ist es einfach, ich kann es oben rechts hinter dem Bildschirm, also hinter diesem Ladebildschirm ablesen. Kann ich keinen Fehler machen. Sehr cool. Wir haben in der letzten Folge endlich Kapitel 5 durchgespielt. Das war dafür eine sehr, sehr kurze Folge. Entsprechend werden wir natürlich heute keine Zeit verschwinden, damit wir auch möglichst viel aus dieser Episode mitnehmen können. Ja, wir haben die 5. Ebene absolviert. Die war ja nicht besonders schwer, ehrlich gesagt. Haben jetzt dafür aber auch echt noch ein paar Türen offen. Und bevor wir die machen können, müssen wir natürlich erstmal reinspringen und ein bisschen Story von Kevin wieder mitnehmen. Seid ihr bereit? Ich bin bereit. Seid ihr geil? Ich bin auch geil. Also, auf geht's. Tja. Und erstmal Stille und Leere. Dankeschön. You've reached the Emerald City Church. How may I help you? Oh, is that you, Kevin? I didn't think you'd be there already, so I was just going to leave a message with the priest. Oh, hey, Rufina. Yeah, I got here late this morning. How about you? When do you think you'll be getting here? I'm going to be a little late, I'm afraid. There's been an accident or something, so the train's been delayed. I probably won't be getting there until this evening now. Gotcha. I'll wait here till you arrive. I think Reese and the kids would get all bent out of shape if I showed up without you. Oh, please, I'm sure you're just exaggerating. Although, speaking of Reese, I hope you've been thinking about how you're going to cheer her up. I've got it all planned out. I've been stocking up on souvenirs from every mission I've been going on. Should be enough to snap her out of her funk. Huh, I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. Girls her age are more complex than you think. Yeah? I guess she's not really a kid anymore, that she's 13, but still. Actually, that's about how old you were when we first met, right? Now that you mention it, it was. How time flies. Sorry, looks like the train's about ready to leave. I'm going to have to go. I'll see you later then, alright? If you get bored of waiting, you're welcome to go on home ahead of me, of course. Get it, see you later. Man, how time flies is right. Have I really not been home in 2 years? And I guess that makes 9 since I met Rufina. I hope Reese isn't too grumpy when we finally get there. Kevin? What is it, father? Has something bad happened? Well, I've just received word that someone spotted a group of men dressed in all black at the edge of town. What's worse is they were supposedly heading for the mountain path. You don't think... If they were, Esther House must be their target, I fear. Do you have any idea what could be going on? I wish I did. I doubt it's anything to do with the Growlswood at least. I think I should go and check it out just in case. Please do. Oh, do you know when Rufina's going to be arriving, by the way? This evening, by the sound of it. She said her train's been delayed. When she arrives, can you let her know what happened? Also ihr merkt schon, es ist natürlich keine lineare Erzählung in seinen Rückblenden, sondern eine achronistische, ich glaube das ist das richtige Wort, wenn nicht, korrigiert mich gern. Denn Rufina war ja schon in der letzten Erzählung gar nicht mehr am Leben und darauf nehme ich erstmal einen Schluck Tee. Schmeckt besser. Damn it, Jägers? Seems like there's anywhere between 5 and 10 of them. But what could they want with a gospel facility to begin with? The longer they're allowed to be in there, the more danger the kids are in. I'm gonna have to try and handle this alone. It's time to put my combat skills to good use. Piu, piu. Oder passiert da jetzt noch irgendwas? Nee. Chapter 6, The Guardian's Trails. Ah, wir haben mal wieder Trails im Namen. Ha, ha, ha. Nee, Trials, ne? Nicht Trails haben wir da. Also Prüfungen, nicht Spuren. Oder, ja. Celeste? Wasn't that the name we saw in those data crystals? That's right. According to those, she was the de facto leader of the group of ancients who sealed away the Aureole. She was also the founder of Liebel's current royal family. I'm glad to see the information I left behind ended up proving useful to someone. It really did. So when you're really the founder of Liebel's... Nee, so then you're really the founder of Liebel's royal family? not technically. I'm not the real Celeste the Auslese. Think of me as something of a shadow, or a partial copy her personality created in order to influence Phantasma from within. How can you only be a partial copy? The truth behind you is apparently more complicated than we thought. You don't appear to be a spirit of some kind, though. I see that now. That is correct. Before I try to explain just what I am, I should probably tell you more about what the world we are in is first. You can do that? This should be interesting. Ja, das ist wirklich interessant. As you are aware, the land in which you stand is called Phantasma. This is a world belonging to a higher plane of existence, created several thousand of years ago by the Aureole. Its purpose was to act as a subsystem for the Aureole in order to incorporate and process the will of the Liber Arcs populace. Okay, also es gehört schon noch zur Aureole, ist aber davon abgespalten, wenn man so will. One might call it a self-organized world designed to realize countless possible others as necessary. Pardon? You've lost me? Yeah, isn't there a simpler way to explain this? Huh. Well, while not technically correct, perhaps you could think of it this way. Phantasma is like a fictitious realm created by the Aureole in order to fulfill humanity's every wish and desire. That's better. Also eine eigene Welt, eine eigene Ebene, die die Aureole nochmal zusätzlich gemacht hat, weil sie es kann offensichtlich. What exactly qualifies Phantasma as fictitious? Fictitious? I can't help but think it far too real to be a land of pure fantasy. When I say a fictitious world, I don't mean to suggest that Phantasma is a complete lie. It's more like a shadowgraph or kaleidoscope. It has its own laws and can change to reflect countless different possibilities. Does this make the concept any easier for you to understand? Somewhat, yes. And suddenly the name Phantasma seems that much more appropriate. Aber wirklich? As I stated previously, it was a subsystem of the Aureole rather than being the Aureole itself, and it helped to grant people's desires. They were separate entities, but effectively like two sides of the same coin. The relationship caught our eye as we were devising the sealing mechanism. You mean the mechanism used to seal away the Aureole? That was also in those data crystals left behind. Exactly. At first we thought our plan would be impossible to execute. After all, the Aureole had absolute control over space itself and was able to influence mankind's every action. Even after coming upon the idea of temporarily freezing it and imprisoning it with a gravity barrier, we had no way to implement our plans. Without that, they were simply ideas with no real meaning. We were effectively at a total loss. You had discovered your foe's weakness, but had no way to take advantage of it. That must have been quite a frustrating predicament. Indeed. And yet our perseverance rewarded us with the development of something that could take advantage of that weakness, the Recluse Cube. Is that what this is known as then? Yes, that is the only object in existence able to interact with Phantasma without relying on the Aureole as an intermediary. Also quasi eine Art Medium, eine Art Schlüssel für Phantasma, ohne die Aureole zu benutzen. Ich wiederhole einfach nur, was sie sagt, aber hey, dafür bin ich da, Leute. Celeste used that to create a partial copy of her personality, that is me, inside Phantasma. And once inside, I began working to sabotage Phantasma's functionality by using this garden as my base of operations. As a result of my efforts, the Aureole's processing ability was hindered just long enough for the plan to be executed. Und jetzt, das finde ich nämlich ganz schön, weil bei allem, wo ich immer mäkel, so ja, Phantasma und bla, ist ein bisschen aber ich finde diese Idee so schön, weil man sich ja schon fragen könnte, wenn die Aureole so mächtig ist, wie kann es sein, dass sie es trotzdem geschafft haben, sie zu versiegeln? Und da haben wir es nämlich, indem man ein Subsystem, das normalerweise eng mit der zusammengearbeitet hat, behindert hat und so es geschafft hat, die eigentliche Aureole anzusperren. Finde ich eine wirklich coole Idee. Nam. He who catches his foe off guard wins the battle. The same principle applies to martial arts too. It sounds like he really put a lot of thought into planning everything. Maybe, but I can't deny that luck played a part in the end. Once the areola was sealed away, my work was done and I fell into a deep sleep here. My reason being that if the areola were ever unsealed, I might be able to provide assistance to the people of that time. I'm pleased you've been able to handle it just fine without my help, however. Luck's played a huge part for us too, though. We're not even sure where the areola is now. As far as we're aware, it disappeared during all that happened at the Liber Arc. I thought as much. I was able to confirm the areola's disappearance from here within Phantasma too. When I did so, I thought my purpose for existing was finally over, and that all that was left for me in this land was to embrace a slow and peaceful destruction. But that was not to be. Soon the Lord of Phantasma appeared. So that's when it happened. Quite a recent development, I see. The Lord of Phantasma appeared out of nowhere, stealing all my power before I was even aware of what happened. After doing so, they began to remake Phantasma in accordance to their own designs. Both this world's current structure and the planes that make it up were all the Lord of Phantasma's creations. Looks like your theory was correct, Ren. Still, that makes it sound like... Yeah, so you don't know who that masked bastard is either, then? I'm afraid not. Their every action thus far has been a mystery. Ordinarily, they should not have been able to gain access to this world in the first place, and I'm afraid I have no idea what they are trying to achieve by bringing all of you in here and testing you. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, that's the part we want to know most of all. I only wish I could be of more help. The only other thing I can say about them is that I suspect the Lord of Phantasma is currently in the 7th plane. There's a 7th? What makes you think that? That was the first plane they've created after appearing in this world. Just what kind of a place that plane is, I don't know. But I can sense dark, inhuman thoughts from there. They're spreading out across the whole of Phantasma. That doesn't sound good. Then we'll be seeing them after the next one, won't we? Yeah, we just finished the 5th when we came back here. Presuming they're waiting for us on the 7th, the time to fight them head-on may not be that far off. I was getting tired of waiting. As was I. It seems the end may have finally been in sight. Now if only we had some sort of inkling as to what the Lord of Phantasma is trying to achieve. Actually, I just might. Ah, und da ist er wieder, Kevin. Kevin? You're up? It's good to see you again, Father. You too. Wasn't expecting you of all people to get an invitation here. Or you for that matter, little lady. I'm sure you weren't. I've got something I want to ask you, but I suppose that can wait until later. For sure. Ja dann. Are you sure you're feeling alright? Right as rain. I'm feeling just great. All that sleep must have done me a lot of good. And I see you guys made a whole lot of progress while I was out cold too. Yeah. Hey, I'm Kevin Graham. Or maybe I don't need to introduce myself since you seem to know a thing or two about everyone who's come in here so far. True, I was able to tell what was happening at the Liber Arc from the garden. And out of all the people here, you are the one closest to the truth of what is happening here. Am I wrong? What? No, I don't think you are. I can't pretend to be much of an expert on what Phantasma itself is, but I've got a pretty good idea as to who's responsible for all of this. I can only think of one person twisted enough to put us through all we've been through. Wait, is it someone you know? You could say that, yeah. The short version is, they're a real piece of work. A cunning, arrogant, cold-hearted son of a bitch who doesn't even see people as people. That about sums up who we're dealing with. Sounds like a real awful guy. And who, may I ask, is that you're out talking about? Well, about that, would you be willing to wait just a little longer for the answer to that one? I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I'm still missing one last thing that'll let me be completely certain. And I think we'll find out just what that is in the sixth plane. And here I thought we finally were going to get an answer. Is there a reason you can't share your theory as is? Yeah, I realize I'm asking a lot after you've come so far, but I promise that as soon as I know for sure I'll talk. I swear on the goddess name and on the church's emblem. Well, I don't see any reason to say no. Likewise, he's clearly got his reasons. It's not often to ask us for favors, so I can let it slide. No problem here. If he says wait, I'll wait. I feel as though we can trust your judgment, Kevin, so I have no objections either. Me neither. Sag mal, muss jetzt jeder was dazu sagen? I don't really care as long as I get to have my fun. I believe we're all in agreement then, aber wirklich, consider this word settled. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Anyway, now that I'm up, I'm also down to take lead again, and I'd appreciate if you backed me up. No problem. It seems like you're all ready to move on. While you're advancing through the 6th plane, I'll do all that I can on my end to find out more about the 7th. Of course, if you need my support, I'll be happy to provide it through the cube and the monuments as I always have. Now that you mention it, we haven't really thanked you for all the help you've given us since we've got here, have we? Thanks, Celeste. We couldn't have done this without you. We truly are in your debt. Please think nothing of it. I am but a shadow placed here with a duty to fulfill. I believe helping you to be part of that duty. If I may, allow me to help you however I can. Will do. Sorry for worrying you too, Reese, but I'm just fine now. So please just leave everything to me. I'm begging you. Begging you. Only if you promise me one thing. What is it? I won't make you promise not to put yourself in danger or to overdo it, but don't do anything that would make Rufina sad. You really know how to hit a guy where it hurts, don't you? So, will you promise? Yeah, I promise. I swear on her name I won't. Ja, und das ist mein Versprechen. Immerhin könnt ihr schon erahnen, wie wichtig ihm diese Frau war. Und zu Teilen ja auch eigentlich immer noch ist. So, wen nehmen wir denn mit? Wir nehmen mit auf jeden Fall Best Buddy ist. Ja, Joshua, Estelle und Reese nehmen wir mit. Ist, glaube ich, eine ganz gute Truppe. So, aber wir sind natürlich, schon wieder falsch, wir sind natürlich noch nicht fertig. Wir haben ja noch ein paar Türen zu öffnen und so sei es auch. Was haben wir hier? Oh, we must first overcome a trial. Stardust 7 können wir also machen, denn alles, was wir brauchen, ist ein Trial. Das war doch 7, oder? Ich muss noch mal reingucken, weil ich jetzt gerade selber unsicher bin. Ja doch, war aber 7. Was war denn das hier nochmal? Ach, das waren die 3 Volldeppen. Okay. All may stay foot within this store. To lay a claim to its rewards, however, you must first overcome a trial. Should this fail to deter you, open the door and step inside. Open the door? Yes. Aber sowas von. So, Stardor, das heißt, jetzt wird wahrscheinlich wieder ein Kampf kommen. Ich bin mal gespannt, was wir dafür als Belohnung bekommen. Welches Fragment wir sehen. Wir hatten schon lange keinen Kampf mehr in so einer Tür. Overcome the trial before you. Then I shall grant to your memory fragment and my blessing. Weil es kann jetzt ja, wie er gesagt hat, es kann ja alles sein jetzt. Ja, machen wir hin. Oha. Oh, und wir haben gar keine S-Craft. Das kann jetzt ein bisschen... Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Ich wollte gerade sagen, das kann jetzt ein bisschen eng werden, aber Hauptsache das klappt. Oh Gott sei Dank. Ich wollte gerade sagen, hoffentlich ist das jetzt ein Flächenangriff. Ich kann mir das mal nicht merken, ob jemand einen Flächenangriff hat. Weil tatsächlich später haben fast alle einen Flächenangriff. Also es gibt kaum jemanden, der keinen hat. Und wenn nicht, dann gibt es für jeden auch nochmal einen Flächenangriff. Also entsprechend... So. Das Gute ist, jetzt hat Joshua auch ein. Das heißt, das könnte sogar schon reichen. Na, noch nicht ganz, aber ein paar wenigstens. So. Das ist ja eine deutlich größere Herausforderung, als ich dachte. Och nö. Ja, jetzt müssen wir das ja wieder machen. Das ist ja Quatsch. Ich will doch nicht, dass er jetzt stirbt. Ich glaube, aber auch Joshua ist der Einzige, der dagegen nicht resistent ist, ne? Zack, weg. Ja, nee, müssen wir heilen. Weil danach ist er schon dran. Wir wollen ja schön auch was von ihm mitnehmen. Zack, weg. Ja, das ist schon mal gut. Das ist nicht so gut. Ja, und genau das habe ich befürchtet. So, und jetzt müssen wir nämlich doch eine Serum Powder missbrauchen. Das ist sehr ärgerlich, aber dafür werden die Gegner sofort leiden. Ja, so kann es nämlich auch gehen, wenn man denkt so, wir sind überlevelt, das wird schon easy. Gar nicht so eine einfache Herausforderung, ne? Naja, man lernt dazu. Was bekommen wir denn dafür? You've overcome the trial. Thus I shall grant to you a memory fragment and my blessing. Ja, den Text kennen wir ja schon in- und auswendig mittlerweile. So. Das sieht aus wie das Militär. Das sieht aus wie der 30-tägige Krieg, wa? So ein bisschen. Orbments are devices that use the orbal energy contained within septium to cause a variety of usual effects. Das mag ich auch so, dass sie selbst dieses Energiesystem so durchdacht haben, wie wirklich aus diesen Septium-Kristallen und dem Septhith Energie rausgezogen wird. Eigentlich ganz schön, ne? It has only been a little over half a century since they were first invented, but even in such a short time, they have already revolutionized, ne? The world as we know it. Ich wollte gerade sagen, wie intoniert man es denn? Keine Ahnung. Ich glaube, das war korrekt. From daily necessities such as lightning and heating to tanks and other similar weapons used to defend our nations, orbments are used in just about every facet of our lives. In fact, it's now hard to imagine life without them. So much of what we take for granted in life now involves them in some way. And it is the proliferate, ich weiß es nicht, and advance the development of these orbments that we exist. We, the Epstein Foundation. The proliferate? Ich weiß es doch wirklich gerade nicht. Epstein Foundation könnt ihr euch merken, sehr, sehr wichtig über alle Spiele hinweg bislang. Our foundation was first established in the year 1100, so good, 1155 of the Septian calendar, the year after Professor Epstein's passing, and was created by his brilliant-minded disciples in order to honor his wishes. The foundation is based on his home state of Lemon, where he remains in operation to this day. Nicht he, er ist erst tot. It was rather limited in size in the beginning, and its attempts to spread orbal technology was initially met with little success. Sensing that the professor's dream would never be realized at the rate they were going, 3 key researchers left Lemon to try and spread the seeds of orbal technology across the continent themselves. One of these was Professor G. Schmidt, und den könnt ihr schon mal merken, den werdet ihr nämlich in Cold Steel selber kennenlernen. Also es dauert noch 2 Reihen, nämlich die Crossbell-Duologie, und dann werdet ihr Professor Schmidt auch kennenlernen. The professor, who had gained a fine reputation of his own for his skill in the field of mechanical engineering, went around and visited corporations in various nations to persuade them of the benefits of orbments. The second was Professor L. Hamilton. Die werdet ihr auch kennenlernen, aber erst in Kuro no Kiseki, den es offiziell im Westen noch gar nicht gibt. Ihr könnt das halt als Steam kaufen, aber dann ist es halt in Originalsprache. Und die Fanübersetzungen sind leider offline genommen worden, weil NIS America da ein bisschen kleinlich war. Naja, dann sollen sie es halt mal selber rausbringen. So. Mindful of the technological gap between regions, she long believed it was rural and remote areas that needed orbment technology more than any other. As such, she enlisted the help of the Bracer Guild, which already had a close relationship with the Foundation, and formed a mission with the intent of promoting and spreading the technology where applicable. The professor herself also toured the regions with the aim of spreading public awareness and laying foundations for others to build on in the future. The third was Professor A. Russell, now known far and wide as the father of the Orbal Revolution, und den kennen wir ja schon, das ist nämlich Titas Großvater. Professor Russell returned to his home nation of Liebel and continued to work tirelessly to advance augment technology there. And within a year of returning, he had set up the Zeiss engineering factory, known as Zeiss Central Factory, ZCF, and created the first augment to be made outside Lehman's state. 3 years later, the reigning king of Liebel at the time, Edgar III, visited the factory to inspect it, and he decided to donate a large amount of money to further its research. With His Majesty's endorsement, augments began to spread like wildfire throughout the kingdom, bringing such prosperity that the people of other nations were filled with envy. Up until then, most people didn't see augments in a particularly positive light, but their success in Liebel changed those impressions virtually overnight. One nation after another began to reach out to our foundation to share augment technology, and both our foundation's financial and social standing became that much more secure. In the eyes of the world, the Orbital Revolution was a sudden, far-reaching transformation, but it was only because of years of reaching out to people and diligent, largely unnoticed research that it was able to happen at all. So nämlich. Guck, das meine ich mit, dass man sich solche Gedanken gemacht hat, wie exakt das funktioniert. The Foundation's activities center around the following 3 guiding principles. First, carrying out fundamental research on augments. Second, spreading orbital technology and information to the public of its benefits. Third, contributing the world peace through technology. Now then, let's discuss each of these 3 guiding principles in more depth. First, carrying out fundamental research on augments. The Foundation's most important mission is, naturally, the improvement and development of orbital technology. The fundamental principles behind how augments work need no improvement as such, but their architectures, their internal structures, have been improved upon countless times in the past and will surely continue to be perfected by the curious mind as the years go on. Augments' architecture concerns are mechanical parts inside them, such as the cogs and screws, and there is still plenty of room for change as this new technology develops. These improvements can reap great rewards, but the research necessary to make them is known to be as lengthy as it is expensive. As a result, companies who prioritize profit over all else are less inclined to pursue them. That makes our Foundation's research all the more important from a social perspective. Second, spreading orbital technology, blah 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 blah, genau. 2 other important goals of the Foundation are to spread orbital technology as widely as possible and to educate the public on the correct way to use it. While augments have become part of the daily lives of most who live in advanced nations and populated urban areas, the reality in remote and mountainous regions is very different. To counter this, we have long worked to send missions of engineers and races to these regions to try and better the standard of living for these people, and will continue to do so. We also continue to work on other ways to spread awareness of orbital technology, such as working closely with the Septian Church to have it added to the curriculum of Sunday school classes. Third, contributing to world peace through technology. It is to pursue this noble yet extremely difficult goal that the Foundation has had a close relationship with the Bracer Guild ever since its initial founding. The Guild was established as an international peacekeeping organization and can mediate on conflicts between nations from a neutral point of view, making it essential to the stability of our world as it stands. The Epstein Foundation continues to back them up fully in their cause, both with financial aid and using the fact that the Lehman State is the only place where tactical augments are produced to provide them with equipment. Und das ist auch so ein Ding, ihr habt euch ja mal gefragt, wie kann denn überhaupt die Bracer-Gilde existieren? Wie finanziert die sich? Weil so viel Geld machen die ja gar nicht. Klar, die einzelnen Aufträge müssen bezahlt werden, aber wenn man mal daran denkt, was alleine die Häuser, die Unterhalt, eine Bezahlung, die ganzen Reisen kosten. Epstein Foundation ist ein großer Spender und Geldgeber für die Gilde, genau. Just as well, this relationship also provides ideal feedback towards tweaking the quality of tactical augments as they are used in combat too. Every machine and every invention goes through a long, grueling process behind the scenes before eventually reaching its finished, refined form, and tactical augments are no exception. Jo. Cool. Then, in September calendar 1190, our foundation unveiled the Orbital Network project, which will be implemented in partnership with ZCF. Said project aims to join all of Zemuria together with a single united communications network, but our hope is that it will do much more than that. Also Internet, wenn ihr so wollt. Our hope is that it will help to realize a peaceful world through communication. Sadly, Open's relationship with peace as a concept has become somewhat complicated. Are they aiding in its realization, or are they doing the exact opposite? Professor Epstein expressed his hopes that their ability to realize the limitless looping of energy would be able to bring lasting peace to the world. Instead, recent years have thoroughly betrayed those hopes, and the post-revolution world has been a chaotic one indeed. The conflict between Libel and Arabonia, for one, made significant use of orbital weaponry, airships included. It seems beyond a doubt that orbital weaponry will continue to become more and more advanced, making war an even more tragic event than ever. In the face of all of this, how should we go about trying to create a peaceful world? We believe the best way to do this is to rely on the power of communication and the means to do so with people of different nationalities and races. If these people can more easily interact and more easily deepen their understanding of one another, perhaps that will allow us to create the world we also dearly desire. Und Leute, ich finde es so schön naiv zu lesen, weil das ja etwas ist, was mit unserem Internet auch mal gedacht war. Und wir alle wissen, wie schlecht das funktioniert hat. In the end, one thing is for certain. Our challenges to try and realize Professor Epstein's ideals are only just beginning. Und übrigens interessant, dieses Internetgedöns, das wird eigentlich erst im nächsten Spiel wirklich eingeführt. Ich finde es aber cool, dass es hier schon angesprochen ist, wenn man eben die Augen offen hat und diese Tür macht. Tja, war's das schon? Ja, das war's. The Epstein Foundation finished. Läuft bei uns. So. Was haben wir denn noch für Türen offen? Star Door 8. Bring to me the playful minstrel as his closest ally against the beast they seek to overcome. Only then shall the door open. Und wir alle wissen ja, das hatte ich glaube ich in der letzten Folge schon gesagt, das kann eigentlich nur eines bedeuten. Ich habe gesagt, ja wobei, es könnte auch Tita und Dingens bedeuten, aber ich bin mir relativ sicher, dass das Olivier und Müller sind. Okay. So, Star Door 8 war das. Läuft doch. Guck mal, die Hälfte der Star Doors haben wir nämlich dann auch schon durch danach. Und dann bleibt doch gar nicht mehr so viel übrig, oder? Ja, okay, 2 Sundoors haben wir noch, aber ich glaube, das the challenge the ordeals in the hand. Aber den haben wir ja noch nicht. Den müssen wir ja erstmal finden, glaube ich. Also es würde mich zumindest sehr wundern. Nee, das ist falsch. Und Sundoor 4. To choose left or to choose right. Only the cards know what the future holds. If you wish to step inside, present the card that governs fate. Das klar, haben wir, glaube ich, auch schon bekommen. So oder so, ich habe ja schon gesagt, wir werden immer nur eine Tür machen pro Folge. Also stellt euch mal darauf ein, dass wir nur noch 2, 3 Folgen Türen jetzt erstmal machen. Es sei denn, die nächsten sind wirklich so kurz wie die hier. Hier kam ja noch ein bisschen Story am Anfang dazu, deswegen würde ich hier jetzt auch einen Cut machen. Und wir erleben auf jeden Fall echt noch ein paar sehr, sehr coole Sachen. Macht euch gefasst auf spannende Geschichten aus der Tür. Klingt wie eine Serie, ist aber tatsächlich ein bisschen das optionale Zuckerbonbon, was Trails in the Sky the Third zu bieten hat. In diesem Sinne, danke fürs Dabeisein. Bis zum nächsten Mal, wenn es heißt Star Door 8. Tschüss!